everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia here today to show you how to make these fabulous boot cuffs. These are very simple using Thick and Quick Chunky Yarn by Lion brand, Wool Ease Thick and Quick. Here's the label for the yarn that I'm using. You can see here we are using super bulky yarn, so size 6. You can basically use any type of yarn, any size hook really, just go with the measurements. It's just such an easy pattern if you go by measurements, and I show you how to do that with these stitches. But if you want to follow along and make these exact ones, get some Thick and Quick woolies and super bulky yarn. I'm using the color Cranberry today, and we are going to be using a size 9mm and size N crochet hook. So you want to get your 9mm out and then get some scissors, and I'm going to be using 2 sizes of needles today. One to sew in my ends, but the smaller one, because I'm using buttons as embellishments, I needed a smaller needle to go through the buttonhole things. So if you want to get 2 different size needles, or if you have just one small needle, that's perfectly fine. So make sure you get that. The buttons that I do have here are from the shop on Etsy, Would Be Fancy. They're very cool real wood buttons. So I'll put the link in the description of this video if you want to check out that shop and get your own buttons. These are great buttons to use. You can use your own buttons, you can make bows, you can make any type of embellishment for these boot cuffs. And yeah, so let's get started on this. I do want to thank the videographer and editor of this video, Fuad Azmat, for taking the time out to do this video with us. But let's just get started and make these very simple boot cuffs. Alright, to start out, we need to have a longer strand because we are going to be using this for sewing. And then we have to make a slip knot. So take your longer strand and put it, well, it's actually your shorter strand, and put it over the top of your yarn, your longer strand, like that. And then fold it down and pull that through. Okay, this is considered your shorter strand even though it is long, but we're going to use this for sewing later. Okay, so make your slip knot. And now, to begin, we are going to do a foundation double crochet row with 24 foundation double crochets. You can chain 24 and then slip stitch to the beginning, but that's creator's choice, I guess. But I just think this is faster and easier for me. So to do a foundation double crochet, we want to yarn over and pull through. We're going to chain 3. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this doesn't count as anything, it's just getting to our height that we need. We're going to go into the 3rd chain from the hook here. So the loop that's on your hook never counts as anything, so count 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to yarn over and then go into that chain. Then yarn over and pull through, and now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and only pull through one of those loops. Okay, now we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. That was our first foundation double crochet. Okay, now to continue, we are going to yarn over, and I'm going to work like this vertically. Okay, our foundation double crochet is it's gonna be a row like this, but I like to work this way because we're going to be working in this bottom portion here. Okay, so yarn over and go into that bottom section. I guess there's 2 loops here. It looks similar to like a chain. There's a loop here and a loop here, front loop, back loop kind of deal here. So yarn over, go into there, yarn over, pull through. You have the 3 loops on your hook, just yarn over and pull through one of those loops. Okay, that's basically making your foundation chain. and then just execute the whole double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we've just made 2 double crochets. Okay, so we have to make 24. So again, I'll show you. Yarn over, go into that bottom. There's a loop here and a loop here. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, again, yarn over, go into that bottom. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so this is how it's looking. Okay, so just make 24 of those. You can follow along again. Okay, so yarn over, go into that. It should be all the way to the left. I say bottom because when you look at it the right way, it is the bottom. So, but I'm working vertically. So I should say all the way to the left, under those 2 loops there. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, we are just making a foundation double crochet. And we need to make 24 in total. Now this chain up right here doesn't count as anything. This is where our seam is going to be. This right here. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 right now. And I'm just going to make my 24. And then I'll meet you up when I want to attach. Okay, so when you have your 24, it should look like this. And, you know, this is for an adult, you know, leg. It should measure about 12 to 14 inches. I guess stretched, it could be 15 inches long. So, you know, make sure if you are measuring the calf size of the person that you are making this for, you know, you can make it for a child or an adult. Just make enough foundation double crochets to fit around the calf, around your leg. Okay, so this is how the circle is going to be. Once you get that many, so this is 24 for an adult size leg, but if you are making this for a teen or a child, obviously you would need less foundation double crochets, which is fine. This is a very versatile pattern. So now, make sure to, so you're looking at it like this. We are going to, without twisting it, bring this around to a full circle, like this, okay? And we are going to insert our hook into the very first foundation double crochet here. So not in this chain 2 here. We're going to go right next to that. So right in here. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through for a slip stitch. So that extra yarn we used in the beginning, we are going to sew this closed, which we can actually do right away if you want. You can wait till the end or whenever, but I'll just show you right away. Just yarn your needle, go through this side, these bottom stitches here. It looks like a chain. Okay, and then go around to these stitches here, okay, and then go up into this, to make a knot, okay, and we can pull tight, just make sure that you pull it tight, and then make a knot, and then just sew in your end. So we'll do that, and then we'll meet up to go on to row number 2. Alright, once you've sewn in that end, we can go on to round number 2. So we just slip stitched here. Now chain up 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2. And now we're not going to be working in the stitches throughout this whole project. We're going to be working between the posts, okay, between the double crochets. So we're going to work double crochets, but we're going to work in between. So yarn over, go in between, and you can see here we just chained up 2 and it's right above this chain up 2 here. So go right next to that, okay? And yarn over, go right in there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, okay? Then skip this post here, go right next, right in that space next to it, between these two, and make a double crochet. Okay, go next in this next space here, yarn over, go into that space. Do not go into the stitch like this. Go into the space. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, so you're just basically doing that all around the entire piece. Okay, so you should have 24 double crochet if you're copying the entire pattern that I'm doing. If you're making these smaller, obviously you'll have the same amount of double crochets that you started with in your foundation double crochet round. So, you know, if you're doing 18, you know, you'll have 18. So if you need to count, just so that you don't have any extras or too less, because you don't want these to be too tight, and you definitely don't want them to be too loose. So you can see that I'm just going in between the stitches, just like that, making my double crochets. Okay, so I'll just meet you up then when we go on to round number 3. Actually, round number 3 is a repeat of round number 2. So if you want to go ahead, do that, but I'll meet you up to go on to round number 3. Alright, so I'm just finishing up round number 2 here. So I have 24 double crochets. Now, round number 3, or finishing this round, and round number 3 is a repeat of round number 2. So we're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet of this round. We're not slip stitching into this chain 2 here. So we're going right into the stitch of the double crochet. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So that's our slip stitch. Okay. Now just repeat row 2. We're going to repeat this we're going to have a total of 6 rows, okay, or 6 rounds here. So round 3 is coming up here, so chain 2, okay, and just go right into this space, right next to this chain 2 here. We're just going to make our double crochet. Okay, and that's it basically. So you're just going to double crochet into each space between the posts, between the double crochet posts, and then slip stitch to the beginning double crochet, chain up 2, and continue doing that. And we're going to have a total of 6 rounds in total, and then you can choose at that point if you want to just fasten off and have a clean edge. Otherwise we are going to make a picot edge, and we will make it a little fancier and embellish it with a button. So just meet up with me once you finish round 6. This should be about 5 inches tall. So, I mean, if you want to do more rounds, you may do so. Make them a little bit taller, or if you want to make them shorter. It's totally creator's choice. So, this is, like I said, very versatile pattern. But I'm going to make mine about 5 inches, maybe 5.5 inches tall. That is about 6 rounds. And then I'll meet you up to do the very last round, round 7. Alright, so I'm just finished up round 6 here, and now we're just going to slip stitch into the beginning double crochet of that round, just like that. And now you could decide at this point if you want to be done. You can just fasten off by just chaining up 1, cutting your yarn, pulling it all the way through, and sewing in that end, and you just have a basic boot cuff that looks just like this, which is fabulous. That's really good. But I want to make it a little bit more fancy, I guess. So I'm going to do a round 7 here, and you can follow along if you'd like. To do that, we are going to chain 1, so yarn over and pull through. And now we're going to work into the stitches here. So not in between the stitches, but actually in the stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the same stitch, then skip the next stitch and repeat that all the way around. So go into this first stitch that we just slip stitched into right here. We're going to insert our hook, make a single crochet, so yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. And then chain 2, so yarn over, pull through, 1 and 2, and then make another single crochet in that same stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to skip this next stitch, go into this next stitch for a single crochet, then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then go in for another single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, skip the next stitch, go into this next stitch for a single crochet, so insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, just like that, then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then go back in for a single crochet. Okay, and it makes these little points here, just cute little picots. So then skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch for a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. Okay, so do that all the way around, just skip the next stitch, go into the next stitch. Do that all the way around, and I'll meet you up then when I'm about to fasten off. Alright, so I just finished my last picot here. You should skip this very last stitch and go into the beginning. You can either slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, or if you can, get your hook into the first chain up 1. It'll be a cleaner finish. So I'm going to go into that chain up 1 that we did in the very beginning of this round, and then just slip stitch in there. So yarn over, pull through and through, pull it tight. And then to fasten off, we usually just chain up 1, cut our yarn, and then pull all the way through and pull tight, just like that. And then we can sew in our end, and I'll show you how I usually just sew in my ends. Just yarn my needle, and then just go into some stitches underneath some stitches, or behind some stitches. Just like this. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you stretch it out as much as possible and hide that end. Cut any excess off. And there you have it. Now you can see the seam here. So this is the back of the boot cuff. This is the front of the boot cuff. This is what it looks like. And there you have it. So you just want to rewind this video, make another one just like this. So I have one already made here that I just finished. Okay, so I have both of my boot cuffs here. And you can see on the back there, those are the seams. So what you want to do is actually take the seam and fold it at the seam, so then you're looking at the side. Okay? And if you have embellishments, you can have buttons, you can have, I don't know, bows or anything really. I got these buttons online at Would Be Fancy on Etsy. I'll put the link in the description of this video so you can go there if you want to get these specific buttons. They have awesome buttons on there, so you can get those. To sew on some buttons, just take the same yarn that you used to crochet this and yarn a needle. A needle that actually fits through the buttonholes. Position your button where you want it. And I mean, I'm just going to put one button on here, but you can do 2. You can make it, you know, your own. Make it fabulous. And just go from the back to the front, and then out through the back there. Okay. Cut this. And on the inside, just tie a couple of knots. I like to tie 3 just to be safe. And then you can sew in those ends then with our yarn needle. And we just want to sew them in underneath a few stitches. Back and forth, just like that. So then do that with your other boot cuff, and I'll meet you up when we're all finished. Alright, there you have it. I just finished sewing on both of the buttons, and this is what they look like. So you can see, also when I noticed when I sewed on my buttons, I wanted to make sure the seam was always in the back. So for the right leg and the left leg, you want to make sure that the seam is here, and the button should be on the outer part of the leg. So this is for the left leg, and then if you look at this one, the button is on the opposite end, and the seam is in the back here. So this is for the right leg. So just make sure when you are sewing your buttons on that your seams are in the back of the boot cuff, and that is how they should look. So they're very simple, very, easy, versatile pattern that you can make for any size, and they're just a great, fast, quick project with chunky yarn. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and like and favorite this video if you learned something. Share it with your friends who crochet, and if you make these, take a picture and share it to the Facebook. I'll put all the links in the description of this video so you can see the Facebook where I found the similar pattern that I actually did my own thing with, and my website. All the links will be in the description of this video. So thank you so much for watching. Happy hooking!